Hey team, I wanted to help you guys out as much as I can. It's just after 7 p.m. and I'm still here on Friday. Not a problem, but I'm kind of fading out. So I just wanted to kind of explain things from what I was thinking thus far. And if anything needs to be adjusted, feel free to let me know and I will do everything to accommodate this transition. So far, I wrote here a note in World History 1. We've completed or started the notes and 7 different lessons on Rome. They need to finish these and then they can start their study guides. I will email the study guides into the printer. I can queue it into the printer, or I will email it directly to Heather. Heather also has it. She's my CLT leader, as you guys already know. Below are the notes, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For anybody who needs extra copies. Some of them only have 1 or 2 copies, so there may need to, the substitute may need to make a few extra. Here are my 3 World History 1 periods. Inside these boxes are their interactive notebooks, passports we call them. They are essentially a warm-up and reflection exit ticket journal. And then you will see on the top I put their folders. Some of these students have been working on them, but I was contemplating the grade book, and I don't know if the substitute is going to want to count all of these grades or not, because we're only 2 weeks into the new quarter, but they have potentially done up to 8 assignments. Again, the notes and then the 7 lessons equaling 8. I also didn't want to be too lenient. You know, but I wanted to have the opportunity to explain to the students what they missed within each packet. So I don't know if the new teacher wants to check them as a completion grade, or if the new teacher wants to check them for exact accuracy. But for the most part, the kids have done great working on them. I have not received all of them. Some students turned them in halfway completed. So I just wanted to be able to have that conversation with the students. But I've organized everything by the appropriate period, and it's in the boxes. Over here, these are the 4 things we've done in Government for English Learners. We started the notes. We completed these notes. Unfortunately, only a few students completed this. This is when I was out for a substitute. They had 2 class periods to complete this packet on the limits of the branches of government. I didn't get a lot. Most everybody was here for the quiz, and we have completed our Lion projects for 4th period, but 7th period has not quite finished. So here's some extra materials. So there's the 4 things for Government for English Learners, and I wrote this on the note on this board as well. If you were wondering, hey, we need some extra materials for them to complete in government, I've laid out 3 different lesson plans, 1, 2, and 3, kind of as like an emergency substitute plans that they can complete. And just like I did for World History, here are their 2 passport books and boxes. And you can see 4th period, this is all of their assignments. Again, I don't have all 4 assignments from each student. We've had some attendance issues, and the snow days kind of threw us off here and there. And then you can see more severely, I only have 1 Lion project turned in for 7th period, and that's because the most recent snow day this past Wednesday, that affected 7th period, so they didn't have time to finish those. Now, their projects that they work on each class in Government for English Learners they keep them in these individual folders. And so here's 4th periods, and if I went through this in 7th period, you would see that 7th period has a lot of their Lion projects to finish. Just for explanation, these are interactive games, mostly identification matching games. Here's one right here on the levels of government. Here's one on the preamble scramble. I keep this on the materials bookshelf. Moving over here is the 3 branches of government, and there's 4 different colors, so it's different teams. And then those pizza boxes, that's actually a review game that I made inside. I kind of like this setup in the back. We are currently having an event here on a Friday night, and they're using our table. It's some type of sorority event, and so there's actually 1 more table that goes in this class, but this is more or less what the layout looks like. And then I'm going to leave these two behind. I made these a few years ago, kind of helping table of contents. This might help the substitute stay organized, one for each class that I teach, World History 1 and Government for English Learners. So I hope that kind of helps explain some things. The last thing I'll mention is just for organizational purposes. I've given every kid a folder. Sometimes they misplace it or they need a new one. So here's a few extra folders. And then, you know, classroom seating charts are here in the classroom settings, the flex schedule, the school calendar, and then rosters as well. I started to fill out a paper grade book, but you can see already how there's a lot of students who didn't turn in their work, or they thought, oh, I'll just turn it in when the sub is there, and I didn't want an imbalance within the grading to be affected. But I know a lot of students still have a lot of work to do, so I think World History 1 and Government for English Learners is going to have plenty to do. And then anybody who is done in government, diving into the review guide or going over the lessons and making sure that they know the material well will help them for the substitute and the upcoming test. I'm hoping that they should be able to take their Rome test by the end of the next week, the first week that I'm absent. And just one more thing for the substitute. I usually write the agenda on the board. Here's the world history agenda, and obviously here's the government. I wrote this note here currently, but I do use this back wall as a projector. I have some books. Anybody in the department, a lot of history books that I've collected over the years, they're welcome to have that. Material shelf is over there. Some of those organizational things I bought, but you know, they're donated. And 2 extra monitors for students that want to do some e-learning and need an extra monitor. I bought these organizational materials, but you guys certainly can have those if you need them, anybody in the department. These are because I'm doing a blended classroom. These are extra headphones, and that they actually are returned to the Cook Lab when everything's done there. And then I just for security purposes, because I've been having my classroom open as students have been helping me move, I put the projector in here, and there's a dot cam in there as well. Mike Abrams can explain to the substitute how to use that if necessary. Extra binders and notebooks are there should anybody need them. And so yeah, I hope that kind of explains where I'm at. Mr. Steele, Dr. Terrell, Ms. Beershank, Heather, if any of you guys need me to come back to further explain or clarify, I would do anything that I can do to help you guys during this transition period. I thank you all for your support, and again, I'm extremely grateful to have been a part of your team and to continue being a part of your team as during this transition process, and also as we all are seeking to help kids in Fairfax County. So whatever our role may be, please let me know again, and please stay in contact. Once a major, always a major. You guys have a great day.